On Wednesday and yesterday, the Democratic Republic of Congo held general elections that were marred by allegations of irregularities. As vote counting continues, the poll credibility hangs in the balance. But to help us unpack what the future holds for the large Central African country, we're joined by Dr. David Matsanga, a conflict resolution expert and chairperson of the Pan-African Forum in Britain. Dr. Matsanga, appreciate your time today. Let's talk about these specific irregularities that have been reported during the election and how they impact the credibility of the electoral process. We know that some of the opposition are already calling for a rerun of this election.
Thank you very much, viewers across the globe, and especially in Africa and the DRC Congo, watching us live from Johannesburg. Thank you. I am in Paris, and I knew very well what was going to happen. I have predicted, and I did predict, that these elections might end up in a total mess because the preparations were not all right. There were no preparations, not enough ample preparations, not enough voter education. Some parts of the country are cut off. So even the opposition complaining at this hour, they are not making any sense at all. Because they should have complained a long time ago. They should have withdrawn from an election if they knew this election was not going to be free, fair, and transparent. But if you have gone into an election, accepted the result, the outcome of it, and which I have said, the outcome, whatever way you want to go, is going to be President Tshisekedi will take it on the day. The opposition can say anything about the rule of law. They can go to court. Any election, they are not, as I've told people before, elections in Africa don't say fair, free, fair, transparent. There are few countries in Africa, South Africa, Tanzania, Ghana, and now Liberia, where elections are free, fair. You go back, you vote, and go back and sit waiting for a person to announce who the winner is. And once it is announced, nobody comes to the street to beat people, goods down. The rest of Africa, we have a problem, including has got also another good type of elections. There's no violence. Nigeria is gone. So that is what my position is.
So let's talk about one of the challenges or the areas that are being disputed by the opposition candidates, and that's around the polling stations and the arrival of ballots which were delayed. But one of the numerous challenges that Africa has with elections is around the safety, certainly of individuals that go to vote. Have there been any violence or any other aspects to it that would make this election irregular outside of these allegations?
I think there are so many cases, and that depends to the courts. It doesn't depend on us or anybody from outside. The opposition must written down the incidences which have caused this type of elections being irregularities are not recorded. Violence, yes, Congo is full of violence. It has under 6 rebel groups, including ISIS, ADF, based in Congo. So out of 44 million voters, I think only or so turned up to vote. The rest are not voting. Some areas have not seen a ballot paper. Some people in Congo don't know when there is an election at all. So there are so many things that you can talk about. If there is anything free and a fair election, it is impossible in Africa. Apart from the countries I've mentioned, it is impossible. And I repeat, with authority, evidence, South Africa, Tanzania, Liberia, and have a free and a fair election and go home. Leaders can concede the lost. The rest of Africa, you have seen how many people die. You have seen the people fighting in Zimbabwe after elections. You have seen in my own country how many people die after elections. You have seen in Kenya. You have seen in places. People go to the streets, destroy property. We have not reached a level of maturity. And for me, as a student of political science, I don't think Africa has reached that level. Very few countries in Africa have reached a level, the countries I've mentioned, of maturity, of resilience, of accommodation of other people's views. So everything in Congo, everything in Uganda ends up in court. We have now resorted to courts as the last, institution to give us legitimacy to rule. So this type of thing in Africa, time has come to change. If we want a peaceful Africa, if we want an Africa that has got peace, where peace is very important, we better change our methods of democracy. Our methods are bad. You can see the coups sweeping all over the West African states, finishing all African states in the West, is because of bad elections. Every West Africa is a result as the president has extended the constitution or he has robbed the opposition votes and the coup comes on the stage. Is what Africa should do.
Dr. David Matsanga, that's where we're going to leave it. We're struggling to hear you at the moment, but appreciate you making the time. Conflict resolution expert and chairperson of the Pan-African Forum in Britain, Dr. David Matsanga, speaking to us from Paris.